Well, I've done it now. I've pushed the button. It is official. And join Andy Land already. And oh, conscious one. Welcome, welcome. Wow, it's like new people. VVV5, Triple V5. Let's find out a little bit about VVV5, shall we? Although we can't because the user has not provided a profile description, but I'm sure that any minute now, VVV5 will be here. Oh, conscious one from Colorado. Nice to have you here. Do I know you? Let's take a look. Louis V, I don't think we've met. Dreamers are wanted. All right, check out everybody else's profile, guys. You know how to do this, right? Nasha Lee blogger, Natasha Lee. Sorry, Nasha. What? Hold on. Let's find out a little bit about her. Oh, yes, of course, the nail and tech beauty therapist. I got some nails because of ukulele playing. Brooklyn Betty is in the house. Yeah. So, hey, everybody. I usually don't do these scopes. Sunshine Zeta has joined. Hey, look, I normally don't. Hey, Brooklyn Betty. So it's nice to have you here on a Tuesday. I never do LOA scopes on Tuesday. Hearts, that's right. Hearts. Why not hearts? It's all about love today. It's all about love and allowing love. Gigi Webster has joined. So it's nice to have Gigi here. Gwendolyn is her real name, and she's a wrap party business owner, okay? So if any of you were wondering, now you know. So I am here today, and Rob Hurrell is also here because he has just stepped in the room. You love this topic. Awesome. Wow. That's great. That's what's special about you knowing the topic is because I seriously came up with it about a minute before I went on, and I'm not even sure where I'm going with it, although I do know where I'm going with it. And but I just haven't given it a lot of thought because I wasn't really even going to do a scope today because it's Tuesday, not Wednesday. But anyway, I was going to see if maybe we could get a few more people in the room. This is all my fault. My numbers went from, I was doing pretty well there for a while in November, and then I just stopped. I stopped periscoping because the holidays came and all this other stuff. Nicey, Nisi BB. Let's see. I like to welcome the folks who I don't recognize. There's no profile description there, but oh, Denise, nice to have you here. So yeah, important topic, very important topic, and I will tell you what prompted the topic. Hold on here. Cody. Awesome, Natasha. It's wonderful. So when I do voice work here, which is daily, and is what I'll be doing when I'm done with this scope, Cody, this is my dog, me and Lynn Rose's dog, comes up and he will jump up in my lap, and sometimes he'll just curl up and sit there, but other times he'll do this thing where he crawls up on my chest and starts licking me ridiculously. And then he'll lay back like a baby. I can show you. Like this. And full-time blogger. All right. That is fantastic. Congratulations. Seriously, that's fantastic. So every day I get this little love session, right? Sometimes it prohibits me from doing what I need to do. And that's actually a key thing, part of what I'm talking about here. Come on, let's get this room filled with people. This is an important topic. Like I'll be loving on him for a while, and then something will happen, and I'll be like, all right, I got to put you down, either because it's, I got to get the job done, and I got to lean into the microphone, and he's in my lap, and I can't do it, or something else comes up. And I was really faced with it last night. Lynn's out of town again. I'm not going to see Lynn again in person until like the 20th. It's crazy. January is crazy. I'm off to Russia in a couple of days. She's off to the Periscope Summit. And you guys, I'm not going to be there. I know. Last year I spoke in Russia to a company, and they're having me back for like some sort of awards dinner. It's like, seriously, I fly in, sleep, wake up, do the thing, sleep, come back. Boom. It's a blink. But anyway, thank you very much. And then anyway, we're missing each other. So all that to say that when I'm laying in bed at night, like I was last night, Cody will jump up on the bed and he'll curl up, basically where Lynn sleeps. Is this too much information? And I find myself sometimes like, I'll love on him because we love our dog. Those of you who don't know, we love our dog. If you follow me on Facebook, you will see more pictures of Cody than of me and my friends. And same with Instagram. Anywho, so I'm loving on Cody last night. And this happens a lot, actually, when she's gone. I'll be petting him, and I'm just the connection, the love that I feel when I'm, loving on the dog. And then what happens is I'll stop. No, I do not speak Russian. Then I'll stop. I'll stop, not because I'm tired or need to go to sleep or I'm just done. Something's coming up. And I really started to see it last night. And it's basically about receiving love, allowing yourself to receive love. Now, I'm using the dog as an example, but then I started looking at my life and people and other people who have similar issues about receiving love. So I'm just curious. I wish there were more of us here. But if you're here, are you here because you resonate with this topic? Like when you saw the topic, how much love do you not allow? Did you sort of say, that rings true with me. There's something about that message that I need to hear. Is that what happened? Is that what brought you here? Because I guess my overall message here, my point is that I think a lot of us as human beings block ourselves from the amazing flow of love that is trying to come to us from friends, family, pets, animals, your tribe, whatever. We have a governor on how much love we will let in, because we hit some sort of a point, whether it's I can miss your scopes in the UK time difference, and the notification came up. Oh, awesome. Well, I'm glad you're here. Super glad you're here. And I want to check out your YouTube and blog too, because I just want to see what you're up to with that. So yeah, we have a limit. Some of us have a limit where, people are trying to give us love and contribute to us and give us all this amazing energy, and then we start blocking it somehow. We either shut it off, we stop the conversation, we leave the room, we change the subject, or even if we don't do something outwardly like that, inside we start rationalizing, well, they don't know, I'm not that lovable, I don't deserve this, all this other stuff, whatever. They can think, does this ring true with anyone, or is it just me? Thank you for the hearts. Yes, it can be hard to accept love. So why is that? I mean, I guess that's going to be different for every single person. We all have our stuff, our own backgrounds about, love and maybe being hurt. I think a lot of it, if I look at myself, honestly, the reason I would block love is probably, for fear that I would be hurt or heartbroken or it would be taken away. And look, as I'm saying this really extends to a lot of things, like money, for example. Same thing. It's all energy, and a lot of abundance is trying to flow to us, and we have our blocks around it. But love is one of those things that is so universal, and so it happens. It touches every aspect of our lives. I guess that's what I'm saying. For me, trusting again after being hurt, right. And so we're hurt. And then we decide, well, we're only going to commit this much. We're only going to go this much into any given relationship, whether it's a love relationship, a friendship relationship, a coworker relationship. If our trust has been betrayed, our ego's like, well, I never want to feel that again. So I'm not going to let you accept that much because the pain is too great when it goes away. Is this ringing true? It's pretty basic stuff, really. But I guess the reason I'm even talking about it is to, again, with all of my scopes, bring awareness to it. Marion! Bring awareness to it so that you can observe in your life. Be more present to when you stop love, when you start turning it off. Like last night, I made it an exercise to hug Cody as long as I wanted to. And I have to tell you, it was challenging. There was a certain point where I'd be, okay, I can't, that's too, you know what I'm saying? It's like, petting this dog is free of charge. It cost me absolutely zero. Why wouldn't, and I was in bed, so why wouldn't I just snuggle with the dog? There's something that said, okay, it's weird. I don't know what it is exactly, but I do know that it's some sort of a block. I reach some point. And with the dog, there's just so much unconditional love with pets, right? I mean, it's like, it's even more so than with humans sometimes, that it becomes overwhelming and I have to put the dog down or just stop. But with people, it shows up a little different, obviously. But there is a cutting off. And you're trying, here's the irony, and here's how that ego works. The ego is trying to protect you, trying to keep you safe. And yet, by doing that, it is cutting you off from the very reason we're here. The very reason you're alive. To connect with other people, to have the life experience, to live fully, love fully, follow your passion, do what you want to do. And so the ego says, well, you can't, don't allow this, don't allow that, don't try this, don't try that, because what if you're hurt? How do you work around that? Strong love can be painful. I want to put a twist on that because love isn't painful. Love is not painful. It has no pain. The hurt, when we feel like it's been taken away, our interpretation of how we interpret situations as a loss of love or a disconnection, that's what hurts. It's that sudden feeling of disconnection of what we felt very connected to. When we love someone, a person, and it's taken away, that's the thing that hurts. It's not the love. It's the perceived loss of love. But love is coming at us from all directions, not just that one person. And we fixate on a source of love, like this person, this relationship, and then that goes away, and now we feel unloved. And yet there are people in our lives all around us who are sending us love in various forms. It may not be, intimate relationship love, but there is love everywhere. And intimate love is still, it's a very different thing than what love really is. I mean, let's face facts. Intimate love is love amplified in certain other ways due to other connections that you have with a certain person. It isn't love per se. Intimate love does not define what love is. Love is way bigger than that. And intimate love is this thing that comes and goes, and it can be fleeting, it can be impermanent, whereas love is not. So just know, if you can change your conversation around love being painful, because love is not painful. If your ego has told you that love is painful, then it's no wonder we might struggle with love, right? Avoid it. Because we're being told that love hurts. Love does not hurt. 1 second, I need some coffee. Every time I do this, I don't know if you guys saw the movie The Usual Suspects, and with Kevin Spacey and a cast of amazing others. And there's a whole pivotal piece where something happens. Anyway, I won't ruin the movie, but you should see it, I guess. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say anybody should see a movie. It's up to you. I enjoyed it. Anyway, where am I going? Love. So love. We're blocking love in various ways. Because what if we weren't? I wonder what your life would be like, and it might be fun to envision. What if you let all love in? What if you just fully allowed love to come to you? Like, instead of figuring out why you need to cut it off or trying to allow the ego to keep you safe, what if you just allowed it and accepted it? And if a person is sending you love in whatever form they're doing, it could be just by being nice to you, doing you favors, however, or actually saying I love you, whatever, and trying to express love to you. What if you just allowed it? I don't think we can hold all that love. It's too much. But see, we are infinite. We can hold. It's beyond the capacity. Now, our ego has created a container and said you only deserve this much. That's the invisible container. It doesn't exist. It's not real. That the ego has created it and said, well, this is how much you deserve. And anything past that is too much, and you can't handle it, and it's overwhelming. But it isn't true. You're not limited at all. We are love. What a hippie thing to say. But it's true. And so our ego has created these barriers and these limitations and this idea of container and pain and too much and all of that stuff. I'm telling you, if you can spend time identifying the beliefs that your ego has created and looking at their ridiculousness, it can free you. I think allowing yourself to love and not fear is something you have to work through. Yes, but it's only because we're living under a misconception. We're working through something that truly does not need to be worked through. Truly, it does not need to be worked through. But we have decided, our ego has decided, this is going to be hard, you need to work through this. We buy into that. Love is the most simple thing there is. But the whole idea of, trusting and all of that, these are all very human, being hurt. It's all about interpretation. It's all about things that we created as human beings. It's not what is universally true. So, it seems like every day there's some kind of retrograde. I don't really follow any of that. I mean, I hear it constantly because Lynn, Every time something shows up on Facebook about any sort of a retrograde or how the energy is shifting, she reads it to me and says, that explains what's going on this week. Anyway, loving children and animals, I think, is easier sometimes. Yes, because there's not the judgment. The children and animals don't have the same level of judgment, and as a result of that, and we don't have the same kind of identification with how they respond than we do with people our age or older or whatever, where we've created links to, oh, that person reminds me of my dad or my mom or the teacher or the so-and-so who gave me this limiting belief in the first place, or that person who hurt me. You know, it's unlikely that a little child or a pet is going to remind you of someone who hurt you in a relationship. So you feel very safe extending that love. It is sad that we learn judgment, but we do. We can't unlearn it though, but it takes a lot of conscious awareness. Yeah, older people have so many judgments. But it's interesting that I'm seeing that I think that there's people, when we say older, I find that some older, like elderly, begin to let go of that. They seem to create a different perspective, and the judgments and things that they had in their middle age years, you know, like what we're talking about here, seem to melt away as they gain a new perspective that we probably won't ever get until we get to that position. Not to say that there aren't some elderly people who are cranky and still full of limiting beliefs. I'm just saying that that's something I see from time to time. Lynn's grandmother is a perfect example, and that's where she is right now. She's in Florida visiting her grandmother, who just turned 100 years old. Just a few days ago, 100 years old. So anyway, so what is it costing you to not allow love in? Well, it's costing you a boatload. And the thing is that we've adjusted. We're the frog in boiling water. You know, the whole idea that you put a frog in water and then you turn the water up, and it happens so gradually that the frog doesn't notice that the water is boiling and then finally just dies. 104. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, no, she doesn't look 100 and she doesn't act 100, and yeah, it's really cool. Crud, what was I saying? I was saying something, and it was a track, but I wanted to respond to the grandmother thing. How much love are we blocking? Yeah, what's it costing you? The frog in boiling water. Yeah, got it. Thank you. So we've slowly over time learned to block various amounts of love, and now this just feels normal. And practical. It's safe to block yourself. It's safe to protect yourself. It's reasonable to do that. And in one way it is reasonable, because you can get hurt. But getting hurt, here's the thing, it doesn't feel like it. It's very unconscious, but it is a choice. How we interpret any situation is a choice. It's just a fact. Easy to get hurt when you think that something vital like that is being taken away, or trust has been betrayed, or any of that stuff. Easy to feel hurt and be scared to continue to trust. But the thing is, if you carry around that hurt for the rest of your life, then yes, you will never trust again, and you are going to limit 90% of what's possible in your life. You know, because there are people out there who you can trust, many, many people who you can trust, who aren't letting in, who could change your life or contribute to your life in ways that you could not possibly imagine. And same with even animals. You know, the thing that I have where I reach a threshold with Cody is like, okay, this is too much love. What do I have to learn from just letting Cody's love in? I mean, look, who wouldn't let that in? I mean, I do let it in, but, you know, I'm realizing that I do have a limit. And what would it be like to have an unlimited allowance for love to come into your life? What if being hurt wasn't an issue? What if you didn't have the fear? What if you could just allow what wanted to come to you to come to you? And then if something comes to you that you don't like, what would it be like to just observe it and go, well, don't like that, and move on and allow the next thing? Fearless. It's really, see, when I don't know if you know, not many people were on my scope yesterday either. That's why I got to ramp this up again. But yesterday I talked about, you know, some of the commitments that I had taken on, and I was doing a pros and con list. And earlier in this particular conversation, I was talking about how exposing your ego's arguments, the statements that the ego is telling you about your limitations, like writing them down and looking at them can give you a whole different perspective than when they're just in your head, because they feel real in your head. They sound real in your head. They sound reasonable. They sound logical. You're referencing all these facts that give you that support what the ego is saying. But sometimes when you write it down on paper and you read it out loud, which is what I did, it just sounds like a whining little child who's scared and doesn't want to take any risks whatsoever. But then if you look at, what if you create a pros column, in my case, in the self-care thing, but it could be about accepting love. Here's your assignment. If you do it. Wow, I just really saw my eyes going back and forth. That's weird. On the topic of allowing love in, sometimes you have to connect with your child. Oh, Ty, did you say something? I missed something because sometimes you have to connect with your child. I came in the middle of a conversation. All right. Here's what I'm going to invite you to do in terms of an assignment. In this idea of allowing love, write down what would be the benefits to you in your life if you truly just allowed love from every direction. Now, this will take some thought because there's many different ways love can come to you. But think about that. Think about how the different ways that love comes to you. People offering to help you, offering to contribute to you in some ways. How often do you say, no, I got it, right? Or people telling you how magnificent you are, and you go, well, whatevs. That kind of thing. Anything like that. What would your life be like if you could just accept it? What if you could believe that you really are as awesome as everyone is telling you to be, or telling you that you are? What if you are that awesome? What if you're even more awesome? What if you deserve so much more than you're even perceiving is trying to come to you? What would that be like? What would be possible for you in your life if you really were that amazing? It's not an ego thing. It's not. It's the opposite of an ego thing. It's the opposite, because the ego will tell you, you're not that lovable, and then try and puff you up and, create all the personas that the ego does to keep yourself safe and make you look, I feel like letting someone else do something for me leaves me feeling too dependent. Okay, so what's that about? That's an inquisition for you, because that came from somewhere, right? That's a belief that you got from somewhere in your life. And it's not true. It isn't true, because you don't know the motivations of a person when they're wanting to help you. And you are the one who decides whether you're dependent or not what people, a lot of that, what you just said, it feels like it's more of I don't really believe that you'll start really truly being dependent on somebody. You have a judgment about that. Like it could be perceived as you're being dependent, like somebody told you that. But look, I'm totally guilty of not accepting contributions sometimes. Hi, Mr. Schulte. Good to have you here. Of saying, no, I got this. And a lot of times it's just like, and I tell myself, it's just, well, it'd be easier if I just did it or whatever. But truth be known, a lot of times it's that I don't deserve this level of, this is too menial for them to do for me. They don't really want to do it. They're feeling obligated. Whatever the ego screams. So this is not, I realized that a long time ago, and so I've been way more open to accepting contribution in those types of forms. If someone wants to help me, if someone wants to say something, it really isn't our call as to what their intentions are. Not at all. It is not up to us to determine what is making them do that. Even if they tell you why they're doing it, could be a completely different reason. So we don't need to figure it out. We just need to allow it and accept it and see what happens in our lives. When you get yourself into a vibration of allowing love, what are you going to do? You're going to actually invite more love. And then hopefully what will happen as a result of you allowing love is that you will allow yourself also to express more love. To allow yourself to reach out and connect with other people in ways that you maybe hadn't for the same reasons. Fear of being rejected, fear of being hurt. But when you can allow anything, allowing a person to be however they are, even if it would be easy for you to feel hurt by it, just total, okay, this is so crooked. Wow, but I cannot see without, I'm sorry, I got to do it. Yeah, I think you know what I'm trying to say. So that's just something to be with, because truly love and feeling worthy of accepting love is critical in terms of creating and realizing a vision, with the law of attraction. Because if you're not willing to accept all the good that is ready to come to you, how are you going to allow the attraction of your vision? I'll tell you, you won't. Because the universe giving you your vision is just another expression of love. And if you're rejecting love, or a certain level of love, why would you accept the love that the universe is trying to give you in the form of your ultimate vision? So start really simple. There's the universe, but you could start with your dog. You could start with your friends, your spouse, your whatever. Allowing love. Knowing full well and allowing that you could get hurt. That something could happen that could hurt you. Because this is what I'm saying with the whole list that I didn't really finish the assignment. Write down all the benefits, how your life could change by allowing love in. And then over here on the cons section, falling in love because your differences between us. Lynn and I have a lot of differences too. But it's wonderful because we've come together in a way that allows us to grow because of our differences. So maybe that's the case for you, and hopefully it is. So over in the cons section, you're saying, okay, so what is it costing me to not allow love in? And you'll say things like, well, I won't get hurt. These are all the things your ego will tell you. Everything in that con section, because there is no benefit to not allowing love in. None. So whatever your ego is telling you about the benefit is a lie. So everything you write down in that cons column about, oh, I'm afraid of being hurt, or I'll be taken advantage of, or whatever, blah, 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 that's all ego. And it's, again, until you do this, it's not the same. You can hear me tell you this and say, okay, I can get that. When you do it and you use your words, what your ego is telling you, but you also have to do the benefits of what would your life be like if you let love in. And I'm going to tell you, it's probably going to be confronting because your ego is going to say, it's going to try to stop you or limit you in what you will write on that column. And I'm inviting you to be as expansive. Thank you so much. I'm inviting you to be as expansive with that. What are the benefits of allowing love in as you possibly can, and allow your heart to just open. Like even me just talking about it, I can feel my heart just opening. Can you feel it? I can feel it. There's all these hearts on the screen too. So, and it might be very emotional for you, but that's great because there's probably some emotion. There's probably some stuck energy in there anyway. Let it out. Let it go. Let yourself imagine a life filled with love coming at you from all directions. You may very well get a huge wave of emotion when you do it. There might be tears and laughter, and I don't know what was there, but it needs to happen. Because that's real. And the ego column over there is not real. That's all a bunch of crap. You may look at that and go, no, but I really was hurt. Yeah, I know. But how you've carried that hurt and what you've made it mean and where you got the idea to be hurt has nothing to do with the universe and what love is really about. Oh, you found out your lover's married. So, so allow that because it is. And what are you going to do with it? In these situations, it's really a good time to take care of yourself. Say, okay, well, like now it's time to take care of yourself, to love yourself. Okay. It's a good one. So I'd love to be able to hear from you guys on, this is the problem. The one thing about Periscope is there's no real good, easy way to, yeah, I'm sure you are hurting, Rhonda. And here's what I invite you to do, is allow the hurt too. You're not trying to stop the hurt, okay? Feel it fully. Don't resist it. And let it process and let it go. But if you hold on to it or try to fight it off or any of that stuff or rationalize or let your ego get in the way, it's going to draw on and be even more painful than it needs to be. Allow the hurt. Yes, I can blab. But now right now I'm not set up to do it. And I got a lot of voiceover to do. And I'm also working on my presentation for the Wealth Beyond Reason certification program, which I have to do on Thursday. Here's my questions. Talked about that yesterday. I'm relaunching our certification program to certify a new round of coaches, and that has launched, and doing a webinar on it on Thursday. And so I'm working on that. So I got a lot to do. I can't do a blab right now. But I've loved this conversation as well. It's been good for me even just to let it flow through me. And I'm going to make the same list. I'm going to do the same thing. I did that same list over the weekend about self-care for me, and it was life-changing. Oh yeah, I can definitely do one on another occasion. And this is a good topic to do on a blab. Absolutely a great topic for blab. Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing, because doing that self-care pros and cons list, which I tried to keep in my head for years, didn't do anything. But when I put it on paper, it changed my life. My whole life starting January 2nd is different because of that. And this exercise of the allowing the love can be probably even more profound than the, self-care thing. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to do it, and I invite you to do it. So again, it's what are the benefits of allowing love in fully from every direction? And then the cons is, why would that be a bad idea to let love in from every direction? And that's the ego column, and that's going to tell you a ton of stuff. Okay, everybody. Well, I hope that you have a wonderful Tuesday. And so my commitment actually to myself is to scope every day, whether it's at 10 o'clock, at least this week or the next couple of weeks. Certainly, because this certification thing is a big deal for me, and I just don't like pounding my email list and things like that. But I do want people to know about it, because there's a lot of people who get on these scopes who are coaches or trainers and would like to be certified. So the certification link is wbrcertification.com, wbrcertification.com. But my normal website is boundlessliving.com. That's a way to kind of get in and get to know me and what I'm doing. Yeah, that's my goal. Daily scopes, at least this week and the next week, and as much as I can in January for sure. All right, everybody, accept the love. How do you get certified? Certified. So go to wbrcertification.com. wbrcertification.com, and you can read that. That'll explain what the certification program is, and then at the bottom of the page there's a link to this presentation that I'm putting together right now that will be live on Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. There will be a replay, but if you're live, then you can ask whatever questions you want. That's great, Brooklyn Betty. I'd love to have you, each and every one of you, and all of your followers. I got to build my numbers back up. That's my goal. Because I really, truly, guys, I love doing Periscope so much. It's such a much better way to communicate than email, which is just irritating people. And I would love to replace my entire email list with people who really want to hear what I have to say on Periscope. So I know of Dubai. I've never been to Dubai. So if your tribe would like this kind of conversation, I invite you to invite followers and let them know about this scope, and follow me at Bob Doyle Secret. I also blab at Bob Doyle Secret. I Instagram on @Bob Doyle Uke, as in UKE, ukulele. Anything outside of that world, like if you follow me on my personal page on Facebook or any of that, no promises. You never know what you're going to get. It could be ukulele. It could be really weird pictures and videos that I've created with my favorite new iPhone app. Lots of pictures of Cody. He's like, would you please stop pointing that thing at me? I'm trying to be a slug. He's very cat-like in his lap curling. He's a cat. He's a part dog. He's a cat dog. He's a cog. He's a dat. But he's ours. And he's very licky. So this is me accepting the love. All right. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.